Watching mom and dad grow older is one of life's biggest challenges, and it's especially difficult when they can't take care of themselves. Jamie Weiland from Connecticut In-Home Assistance joins us now in Connecticut Style. Nice to have you back here, Jamie.
Thanks for having us.
So this is not an easy conversation to have. Typically, I would assume elderly seniors wouldn't want to leave their homes.
Right. You know, it's mom or dad, they've been living by themselves their whole life. They, you know, you're going to go in there and say, hey, I'd really like to get some help in here. And typically they're going to say, no way.
I don't need that.
Right, absolutely.
Well, when's the right time to have that conversation, would you say?
There's a couple of right times. You know, you can certainly have it when you have a crisis or an emergency and act on that, you know, going forward if they end up in a hospital or that sort of thing. It's a good time to say, all right, you know, let's get somebody in here. A better time to have that is before they, you know, have that accident or that fall or that sort of thing. So, you know, if you notice mom and dad are eating nutritious meals or, you know, their driving seems to be a little bit sketchy, you know, those sorts of things, really is the time to say, hey, mom and dad, you know, what if we got somebody in here just for some meals?
Sure.
Or, you know what, I don't know you should be driving, you know, all the way to Hartford from New Haven. You know, the local driving might be okay. So, you know, little steps like that where you notice that they're lacking in things they can do on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, in-home assistance can get expensive. Would you say, how much would it typically cost, or I'm sure it varies?
Right. You know, and a lot of people can look at home care costs and they'll think, you know, this is $50, $60, $70 an hour. It's a nursing cost. It really is much more affordable. You can get somebody for as little as $15 an hour to come in, be a companion. And there's also a lot of funding sources for it. So, there's a Connecticut Home Care Program for the elders, which is great in the state of Connecticut, that pays for services, companion, homemaker, personal care services. So it doesn't have to be, you know, hit your wallet as much as you think it would.
Sure. Now, you mentioned a little bit about driving, preparing meals, but what kinds of services does Connecticut In-Home Assistance offer?
Sure. So we basically can offer anything from somebody coming in 2 hours during the week to just check on mom or dad or spend some time, play some cards with them, you know, have some fun with them, to around-the-clock care where, you know, maybe they don't want to go to an assisted living facility but want to stay in their home, but really are in a difficult situation where they shouldn't be left alone and they need 24-hour care. So we kind of run the gamut on that.
Sure. So obviously a lot of benefits of just hiring someone for part-time or just for a little while to keep company, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great thing for adults to have, you know, somebody come in and just spend some time with them, or, you know, do some activities with them throughout the day, you know, if they're not seeing people normally. I
think if you would, Jamie, reiterate to our viewers how it's a good thing to have some assistance. This is not a kiss of death.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of families have that difficulty in talking to their parents and saying, you know, what's a good time? How's this going to benefit them? And there's a lot of resistance there. I think it's a positive thing. You know, maybe mom or dad can't drive and can't get to their hair appointment anymore, can't get to the senior center to go play pool, or, you know, something like that. So really, it's helping them out more than it is, you know, hindering them and saying, here, you know, now you're strapped with somebody else. It's really opening up avenues that maybe were closed before and opportunities that they could have to do something.
Now, would you say that Connecticut In-Home Assistance specializes in anything specific, or is it really runs the gamut?
We kind of run the gamut. You know, we kind of tailor to what people need. You know, so if it's just once a week, if it's a couple times a week, you know, really start from the beginning of, you know, maybe coming in and you know, as I said, playing cards or taking them to an activity or taking them to a hairdresser, to, you know, the whole level of, you know, around-the-clock night care, day care, you know, and try to keep them at home.
Sure. So the best advice probably would little by little approach?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I also think that a big thing with talking to your parents is making sure you get them involved. They are your parents. You need to respect them. They want to feel like they're making the decision, and they should make the decision. I think it's a wrong thing to do if family members are saying, you know, let's just set this up for them and we'll put it in place.
Yeah, it'll be a miserable experience, right, if they don't have a say in it, or...
Absolutely, and that's, you know, you're going to get a lot of resistance, and usually you're not going to get the services in there that you wanted to. So make sure you involve your parents.
All right, well, where can we find more information about Connecticut In-Home Assistance?
Sure, you can go to our website, cthomecare.com. And you can, there's a phone number on there, 1-800, or actually 1-855-412-CARE.
All right, we'll take it from there. Jamie, thanks so much for the information.
Great, thank you.
All right, stay with us. More Connecticut Style after the break. We're heading into the kitchen and making some easy after-school snacks. We'll be right back.